Eligible Monster, where Natalie sits with various guests, normally me or Dan, and we go over things involving gaming news. We discuss gaming discussions, gaming news, we play various games, and we just sit here and talk to them. Talk to you about it with our community, because Eligible Monsters community is vast, great, and it is amazing. We have you guys on Twitch, we have you guys over here, we have you guys on our Discord. All those links are down below. But today we're going to be doing episode 3 of our new show, Natalie, our gaming news roundup show.
Yes.
Would you like an aspirin with that?
Yes.
I got 5 news stories here to go over today.
5 more?
5 more. We have...
Jesus, man. But Kingdom Hearts is out already, so what?
We're going to talk about that in a minute. We're going to talk about Kingdom Hearts.
No,
we're
I
going to talk
know,
about
but like,
Apex
people
Legends.
should be busy playing it, right? Not making stories up like this.
We'll talk about that in a minute. I figured out why I don't like Kingdom Hearts 3. We'll talk about that in a second.
I beat it.
Well, so the 5 stories we're going to talk about today.
Yes.
CD Projekt Red is offering more compensation to the Witcher series creator. I don't know why that is getting noise on. Ubisoft apologizes for the Division 2 marketing email joking about the U.S. government shutdown.
Oh my god, I've seen that one, dude. Oh my god.
Mega Man is helping Japan raise awareness for cybersecurity.
Okay.
More than 10 million players attended Fortnite's in-game Marshmallow concert.
I did see that. I've seen a bunch of videos going around the net, and I'm just like...
And the last one we're going to talk about is man leaves pregnant wife for PUBG.
Excuse me, repeat that?
Man leaves pregnant wife for PUBG. So the way we typically do this,
can't
guys,
wait.
is this is kind of like what the original Eligible Monster podcast has turned into. We're going to chat about what we played for a little bit, what our experiences are. But for me, I played Apex Legends and why I'm disliking Kingdom Hearts. Then we'll go through this news story right here and get our opinions. Now, we've not done a ton of research into these. That's the point of the news stories. We're going to read the clickbait title and see what the story is and get our opinions on it.
Yes.
Okay? So, starting off, I guess I'll just kick off with what I felt about Kingdom Hearts, huh?
Yeah, I guess so, because if you're telling me that you can't get into it, I'm actually very curious.
Well, I was having problems getting into Kingdom Hearts 3, and I've played every single Kingdom Hearts 3. I love the series, love the franchise.
Right? You got me into them, so yes.
Right, and I was having so many problems getting into it. And I finally sat down and realized what my problem is. One, I've never cared about the Disney storylines. The ones that rehash the Disney movies, I never liked them.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, I know that's the whole point of Kingdom Hearts, right? Having Disney meet up Square Enix's favorite characters, right? And,
Yeah.
and you know...
Well, there's no Final Fantasy characters that I've come across, up to my point.
Right.
And from what I've heard, they're not in the game at all. No Cloud, no Squall, no Tifa, no one shows up.
No, and that's kind of what turned me off of it at first, but then you told me give it a shot because the story is incredible, and you were right, the story is incredible. But the Disney side of it is definitely what kind of just turned me off of it.
Well,
so
and that's just it. Like I started with the Tangled world, and when I finally got to go pick worlds, I went to the Tangled world, and I don't care about the Disney. Like they're cool to see on the side. It's cool to see Sora reacting to them, but I don't care about a 15-minute cutscene that is copying the movie.
Yeah, it's pretty much the exact same thing.
Right,
Except that they're just like you said, like integrating Sora into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, but I was like, why am I so bored of Kingdom Hearts? Why am I not getting into this? And I started to think back to Dream Drop Distance, and I started to think back to like Birth by Sleep and the card game and all these other ones that I enjoyed. And I realized it's because the combat wasn't as simple as it is in Kingdom Hearts 3. They've dummied down the combat. Every fight, and I was on proud mode initially, and I got bored, and I restarted it on the middle difficulty thinking I could just blitz through it faster. Like, okay, well, if I'm bored of the combat, I'll go back through it faster.
It turns out that it's not going to be any faster because you still have to go through the cutscene.
Right, well, I think this will keep me from having any struggles, but then I found out from Houston, he did the entire game on proud mode, and he counted 5 deaths total. That was it.
Yep, he kept telling me about this the whole time.
Yeah,
I was
so I'm like,
is there any differences right now? Because I would have played on proud mode, but I thought that there was like a massive increase, right? I just wanted to go through the game and just experience it and just have fun with it.
Yeah.
That's what held me back from doing it on proud mode. And everyone was just telling me proud mode is so easy, man.
Well, that's what he told me, because what I was concerned about was I was already kind of falling off,
Yeah.
and I was like, I want to get bored.
Yeah.
And if I get bored and then hit a point where I'm irritated because I'm failing, then I'm not going to want to continue. So let me put it back on the normal difficulty and play the game like that.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, you should have left it on proud mode, because I got to the ending and it didn't get any harder.
Yeah, because I beat him before him, and I told him, good luck with the last few fights, because I'm assuming if it's proud mode, right, it should give you more issues than it did for me.
Yeah.
And it turns out that it was pretty much the same. So.
Well, so I'm going through these Disney worlds, and the combat's boring. It's X, 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 triangle, stand back, and Donald will heal you. Now, what I did...
You can also kind of like try to counter it as well, so there isn't...
But you don't need to. And here's... I was talking to Sean about this last night.
Yeah.
And he's what reminded me of why I liked the comment before. He's like... His comment was, giving Donald the heal is what broke the game for him. And I'm like, that's right. Donald wasn't like a big healer before. As far as I know, I had to use potions, and there was more strategy to it because I'd have to back off of the fight, use my potions or my heal. And one of the first things I always tried to get was a heal on my bar so that I could cure myself.
Yeah.
But having Donald heal me, and heals for full HP, I can just back off for 2 seconds and I'm back to normal.
Yeah.
And the game just boils down to XXX triangle.
That's if he decides to heal you, though. Because for me, anyway, he would always use the potions that I would give him. Like,
don't give him potions.
It's like,
if you don't give him potions, he'll just cast cure.
I know, but they were just being so stupid at times. Even though it's, they were supposed to stay by me, they would just die. They would just, I would dodge everything, and they would just die in the background. So I would have to be the one to ending up just using the cures, right, on them because they were down the whole time. So,
and maybe when I get farther in, maybe it'll amp up a little harder. But my problem right now is that the game's just too simple.
You are Untangled, which is the second
one.
No,
I've gotten through Toy Story now. I got to the end of Toy Story.
That's supposed to be the second one.
But I looked at the list, and I'm apparently at least halfway through the game.
I don't...
That's what it says. Like, I was looking at the IGN walkthrough, the chapter titles, and it's like, yo, you're halfway through. I'm like, oh boy, even if some of those worlds are longer, I've done over half of the zones, apparently.
Yeah, you did the same thing I did, which is I went to Tangled World instead of the second one, which was supposed to be Toy Story. Yeah.
Well, so I took a break. I'm going to go back and finish up all the playthroughs on Resident Evil, and then I'll go back to Kingdom Hearts.
I think that's it. There's a part of it is that too. You're kind of focused on Ari as well. And you're just like, you have those two games that you're just bouncing in between. So I feel like you should just get one done and then just focus on the other.
Oh, I'm gonna do Resident Evil all the way through.
Yeah.
So they're saying I'm not halfway through, which is what Houston was telling me as well. I'm just looking at the chapter titles because I don't want to be spoiled.
Because you think there's all the worlds, right? Which you're right. You're halfway through the worlds, but then there's that massive part after the world.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm hoping that there's more to it. So I'm just saying what it says.
You need to get to the end.
The problem that I'm having though is that the Disney worlds are not interesting. The Final Fantasy tie-ins are not there anymore, and the combat is simple. This isn't the game that I played like when I played Dream Drop Distance. Final Fantasy characters, they weren't in that, but the combat was interesting, and the one before that had the Final Fantasy characters. But they're not in it at all. They're not even at Twilight Town or any of the Traverse Towns or any of that kind of thing. They're not there. So, like, what I enjoy is the Final Fantasy elements mixed into Disney.
Yeah.
And what I enjoyed was the combat system that was very much dependent upon you using the flow motion properly, using the abilities properly. But everything I get is just super simple. And I think that's my problem. When you give me nothing but Disney and you give me nothing but simple combat, I'm not engaged enough to keep going. And that's where I've been almost forcing myself to play Kingdom Hearts.
I've heard your theory, too. I don't know if you want to mention it here since it's still pretty damn new. So I don't know if you want to mention what your theory is.
Which theory?
That you told Houston this morning.
Oh, yeah. So, because Houston told me there's no Final Fantasy characters. Because I was like, when are they going to pop up? Because I haven't seen any. Nobody has showed up and talked to me. He's like, they're not in the game.
No.
I think my theory is, and this is entirely a theory.
If that's your theory, though, I would be 100% behind that one. Like, I would endorse it. I would be really happy if they actually went that route. If that's what they're currently planning on doing.
I'm not sure about the one where it's Disney's trying to wrap up so they can go, okay. The idea that I had was that Disney's trying to wrap up the Kingdom Hearts thing that they're a part of so that we can then move on to Kingdom Hearts and centric titles. Because a lot of the spin-offs didn't feature that much Disney, which is what I liked, actually.
And you have yet to see the ending, too, which kind of reaffirms what you just said as well, like when after seeing the end, this is why I'm kind of behind your idea because it makes sense just seeing it.
But what I'm thinking is that they're wrapping up all the Disney elements, so they can basically go Square Enix style and go like anime and Sora.
If we get what we saw at the very end, I am on board with that. I would be 100%.
Without spoiling, obviously. Yeah.
Obviously, yes, but I would be 100% behind it. Yeah.
That's where I feel like they're going with the series, though. I feel like that's the direction they want to move in it. Because they've said that they're going to wrap up the current saga and then move on.
Yeah, and you'd be right too because Disney has got a lot on their plates right now. They've been behind a lot of things lately. Yeah. So I would see them just trying to part ways. Kind of. I don't know. We'll see, but.
The other thing that's going on this week, and I'll just talk about it briefly because you didn't get to play it,
No, because as soon as you told me, as soon as I saw it promoted as Battle Royale, I was like, this is not for me. I know I'm supposed to play it for work, right? But beyond that, like whenever I see multiplayers or battle royales, I'm past that. I'm not interested at all.
Yeah.
Like I want my single player games, I want my co-op games, and that's all I want at this point. I don't want to bang my head against the wall playing a multiplayer game or battle royale every single night. I'm past that. So I have no interest at all. So what did you think?
I actually liked it. So here's the long story short, because I do want to get to these news articles.
Yeah.
Apex Legends dropped. And it came out with no fanfare, no promotion, no one knew it was coming out.
No.
And the reasoning behind it is the developer, Respawn Entertainment, said that they didn't want to promote it and people think that they were getting rid of Titanfall 3. Apparently, they've even come out and said, and this is apparently, because I haven't deep dived into it, but we will have Titanfall 3 out by the end of the year. So apparently, they're still full working on that. They came out with their own version of a Battle Royale, which everyone blew up. It's all over Twitch right now. And I'm not a huge fan of Battle Royales. I liked PUBG. You and I played the hell out of PUBG.
Yep.
Fortnite dropped. You didn't play Fortnite, but I did.
Are you kidding me? There's videos on EM of us trying it out, like the 4 of us.
But not the Battle Royale mode.
Not the Battle Royale, yes, but like the actual game, we went through the entire game before
What was I saying,
Battle Royale dropped.
I played the Battle Royale. I couldn't get good. I couldn't get good at the building, so I'd be like, I built a wall, and I look over and the Eiffel Tower is staring back at me like, yeah, I'm screwed. Like, I don't know how you can do the jump and the ramps. I'll admit, I'm just not good at that.
I
loved Blackout. I did play a ton of Blackout with my brother, and we played it with
by the time I would figure out how to put a freaking block down, someone would have like, you're right, like
the Eiffel Tower's in front of you,
like a majestic freaking thing. I'm just like, what?
They've recreated the Starship Enterprise.
Hold on, before anyone shoots me. Hang on. And it's just like,
Exactly.
No.
I loved Blackout. So Apex Legends feels to me like they took the ideas of Blackout, added the more phonetic movement of Titanfall, but they removed the wall running and the double jumping, and they threw in Overwatch power-ups, so like heroes.
Yeah.
It's actually a lot of fun because you have to work with your squad. Now that's the big difference between Fortnite and everything else in my opinion.
Ben, when you say you have to, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but before I lose it, when you say that you have to work with your teammates, how often do you actually get to work with your teammates on any multiplayer games?
Well, and that's where I feel is different. So the big problem with games like PUBG and Fortnite and Blackout.
Yes.
You can queue in with a squad, but you can have people that are not talking. There's no way to communicate. You don't know what's going on. You're not really playing as a squad as you are playing with, hey, you're a random person I queued up with, or I'm on a voice chat with people I know doing it. Apex Legends kind of fixes that, in my opinion. You have a ping system, and there's multiple ways to ping multiple things. So you have a button for enemy, and a button for ammo, and a button for the direction we should go. There's ways to communicate without even having voice chat. So if you're the kind of player who's like, well, I really want to get into multiplayer and squad-based games, but I have anxiety jumping onto the microphone.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people do. I won't even lie. If I get into a game, my first round of Apex Legends, I jumped on, and the mics were open, and I didn't know that. And I don't normally talk to randos.
God, that happened to me in Battlefield once. I was like, I didn't know I was on mic, and I was pretty damn confident on Battlefield 3 because that was like my peak of multiplayer gaming, right? Yep. I was really good at it, and I was obviously Battlefield, so you have to work with teammates as well, right? And my teammates were not doing the objective at all, so I was just like sitting here like fuming, and. To the point where I think you were in the other room, and I was just like, what the hell are they freaking doing? Just do the objective. And apparently my mic was on, and one of my teammates came back with, yeah, what the fuck, man? You should just do it,
Well, the first match I got into, the mic was on.
Shit.
And because I have a weird name in that game, it's like Blood Leave or something weird like that. Because that's my origin ID.
That's from your World of Warcraft.
Yeah, it was my World of Warcraft shaman.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, Blood, we're going over here, and I'm like, oh, we're actually communicating, and then we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. So that was cool, and I met some interesting people. I don't normally talk on open mic in a game. You would think that I'm the most social person in the world, but I get anxiety jumping into a game like that going, well, do I have a bunch of dickheads?
I get anxiety just thinking like, oh, what is it going to be this time? A kid just yelling at his
Exactly,
mom?
You don't know, or am I going to get the guy that's like super hardcore?
Yeah, it's just like, oh, come on, just freaking uninstall the game, dude. Like, it's a beta, but uninstall the game, you don't know how to play.
So even I get anxiety getting into that stuff.
Yeah, that's
So
fair.
the second match I went into, though, they have the ping system. So you can be like, go that way, do this, ammo over here. It's so oriented towards the team element. You have a jump master. So when we're going out, your team of 3, they're stuck together.
Okay.
So we can say, hey, go here, go here, go here. The jump master decides where we're going. Now, you do have the ability to break off of your squad, but you have to manually do it.
Okay.
So if you are that player that wants to play alone, you can go off and do your own thing and screw your entire team over. But it very much emphasizes staying with the team.
I understand why, because I've been watching Apex Legends. I haven't played it, but I've been watching it, and I've noticed that everyone was staying in a group together.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if it's because they were like top streamers and they actually had a team behind them, or they
It emphasizes it because the abilities also don't work well alone. Like I like to play the hunter character, and I can see through walls, and it can tell people if we have hostiles nearby. Yeah, and there's another character that can heal, and there's another character that can pop the shield, and so they don't work very well alone. But together, pop the shield. They're healing us. I'm looking at the walls. They're over there on the left. It's a team element. A lot of the powers work together. You know, so I mean, the guns felt great to me. It felt very Call of Duty, the way they all felt. The movement felt great to me. The graphics were really on point. I liked the way the graphics looked.
I think
it felt like a slightly more serious version of like Borderlands. That's how it felt to me.
You're going like the opposite. You said Call of Duty and then
it's such a weird. And you and I had a debate over a clone game, a copycat.
Yeah, we're not gonna get into that one here.
Well, no, yeah, that's a totally different debate. But
yeah,
I'm saying about a bandwagoner game or a game that tried to make its own own version of it.
That's what
and I feel like Apex Legends does a great job of making its own version of the battle royale genre.
Yeah, that's the thing. I can't exactly argue against that because I haven't played it myself, like you said, so I can't see anything about it.
Yeah, and I want you to give it a shot so we can talk about it next week.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Natalie, you ready to go over the portion of the show in which we are talking about the news?
I can't wait, especially for that last one right there. I can't wait.
Okay, so the first one is CD Projekt Red is offering more compensation to the Witcher series creator. I've been hearing about this recently. Basically, they bought the rights to do the Witcher series. Witcher became a smash hit.
Yeah.
Which made everything more popular, and they've made multiple games, and they've made multiple stuff out of it. And I guess the guy, apparently he demanded 60 million Polish zloty, which equals to $16 million US for royalties related to a sequel and spin-off in the games. While the official amount will be that he's going to receive hasn't been revealed publicly, it's been reported that he'll receive far less than what he asked for back in October.
Yeah.
His lawyers seem to understand the stipulations of the original agreement made over a decade ago, but they feel that CD Projekt Red should consider offering royalties to the author on goodwill. So what you guys don't know is CD Projekt Red bought the royalties to make these video games. Witcher 1 and 2 were popular, but nowhere near what Witcher 3 got them. Witcher 3, whole new level of popularity. Spin-offs, DLC, it's funded entire other projects by the company. It's just a totally different level of success.
Netflix series too.
Yeah, it's getting a Netflix series, all based on the popularity of this one game.
Yeah.
And so basically, the creator's like, I want more money. You're getting super popular, getting a ton of money off of my stuff. But I do like that, because I thought he was arguing you owe me more, but they're even stating that under the original agreement, they don't have to pay us. They're hoping it would be in goodwill, and it looks like CD Projekt Red is going to
Well, that's nice.
give them some money. They're not saying how much.
Yeah.
I doubt it's 16 million.
But at least it's something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Here's the original deal. Okay, so the Polish fantasy novelist who will turn 71 this year originally made a deal for the first game of the franchise for only $10,000. That was what they paid him for it.
That's pretty low.
The deal did not include receiving royalties for any other games that they intended to release in the series. In the past 12 years, the developer has expanded its lineup of Witcher games greatly, including the likes of Witcher 2, Witcher A Battle Arena, Witcher 3, Gwent, and most recently, Thronebreaker: The Witcher Tales. Witcher 3 has been the most successful of the games mentioned, having sold over 30 million copies, while also receiving many Game of the Year awards across the board. The video game success of The Witcher has also seen the property transition into a Netflix streaming game to the Netflix show with Henry Cavill. However, the TV series deal has its own deal with the author and will be based on the books. So they got the ability to use The Witcher for only. No wonder he's coming back for more money. It was like $10,000 they paid him to use that.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to.
Look at the hoop from Wonder Woman.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
It's good on CD Projekt Red for sending him anything else.
Absolutely. Yeah.
For $10,000, there was a story like that. Like, wasn't it like the creator of Tetris or something that sold it super super cheap and has made no money on every sequel?
That's honestly pretty terrible. I hate those stories.
Yeah.
I hate them. Yeah.
So, all right.
Oh, good for them.
This one I found kind of hilarious that they would even do this because I got the emails too. Ubisoft apologizes for the Division 2 marketing email joking about the US government shutdown. So,
Yeah.
this is the one that's been going around. They sent out an email at 12:34 p.m. Come see what a real government shutdown would look like.
Yeah.
4 hours later, we apologize for the earlier email.
Yeah. And I've seen so many responses to that on Twitter of other developers that did the same thing on earlier occasions and did the same thing. We apologize for our email.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go into it, but there are other companies that also did the same thing. But that one was just really Ubisoft, really.
I mean, in all honesty, there's not much more to say about this. It's hilarious.
It's hilarious because you can see it on someone's inbox. It's like they sent it and you see it like the preview. You see the preview.
That's the one I'm looking at. Yeah.
And then at the very top, like right next to it, is like, we're sorry.
This was on DualShockers.com. Yeah, it's funny.
Do you think honestly? Because what was the timestamp on that? Like,
It was 4 hour gap.
4 hour gap.
I guarantee you someone lost their job over this.
Oh,
some PR
you
guy
think
is like,
so?
oh, it's going to be so awesome. You want to see a real government shutdown? Not realizing how bad that has been for the U.S. government right now.
Yeah. I could see that. Yeah, and then Guy, it's Guy, right? The president.
Yeah.
Eve.
Something like that.
It's
yeah.
Eve, and Eve just came out and was like, "Who did this?" Just
I
like,
know.
come
Whoever
to the
this was,
office.
you're fired. You
Who
know what?
did
Your
this?
whole team is fired for approving this.
Or because it's French, you'd be like, "Qui a fait ça?" Oh, great.
All right,
That's
so
great. Yeah.
next up we have Mega Man is helping Japan raise awareness for cybersecurity. You can't make this one up by Destructoid. Okay, so Mega Man is pretty mega. This is true. He's often adopted by various agencies for his services, like Red Bull, which is innocuous outside of the killer art. I can't even read that word. I'm sick. Just go with that. But now he's been commissioned by the Osaka Police Force. Yes, according to the Rockman Unity Twitter account, Japan officially requested Mega Man to be the face of cybercrime prevention. The character has been awarded a letter of appreciation for his services by the Osaka over the weekend. Is it Osaka? Yeah.
Probably is Osaka.
Huh? Osaka, Japan? The program seems to tie directly into the Mega Man 11. Blockman even shows up for the official decree. I mean, there's not much more to this. It just shows somebody in the Mega Man costume.
Yeah.
It pretty much reminds me of those old, what's his name, Gruff the dog? Take a bite out of crime! But they're using Mega Man as the character.
Yeah.
McGruff the crime dog. There it is, yeah.
Japan has all the cool stuff.
They do! We get a talking dog.
Have you seen the release of Kingdom Hearts in Japan?
No, I've seen videos about it, how big of a deal it was.
That was such a big deal, man. I love it. I love it.
Did you?
Oh my god, yeah. It was great.
Next up, we have more than 10 million players attended Fortnite's in-game Marshmallow concert.
Yeah.
And it was amazing.
Yeah, I've seen that. And apparently...
I didn't even know this was a thing.
Yeah, it was a thing, and I've seen it trending on Twitter, and I've seen a bunch of kids, mainly little kids, just in front of on their computer screen and just dancing. I was like... Yeah.
Continuing its apparent bid for world domination, Fortnite held an in-game concert this weekend featuring real-life music producer and DJ Marshmello, reportedly seeing over 10 million players watching, interacting, and performing their favorite emotes in real time. If at least 50% of that sentence went over your head, you're not alone, but the result was quite something.
Yeah, apparently he was like the biggest, it was the biggest concert ever because everyone was on Fortnite, and it was like, have you seen the amount of freaking people that are playing the game right now? So
yeah,
it's like the biggest, to this day, the biggest concert.
Yeah.
This
is NintendoLife.com, by the way. 7 p.m. on Saturday, players are whisked away into a special match at the game's Pleasant Park location, with all weapons completely removed. I was thinking that exactly. Like there's just some troll running around like, yeah.
I was seeing. Yeah, I was.
Actually, I hate Marshmallow. I'm gonna beat you all.
That makes more sense now because I was wondering if someone was out there just waiting for their moment, just to crash this entire party. But no, everyone was just up, like just jumping up and down, and unable to do anything because, like you said, everything was disabled. So
the event had been teased previously throughout the previous week, and many more wore Marshmallow costumes to stream the event on services like YouTube and Twitch. It was essentially like the Super Bowl for an entirely different crowd.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, so they teased it. They didn't promote it because I had no idea this even happened.
Were you going to be in game for it, Ben?
I might have. I still have it updated.
Yeah. So
Despite these fans are technically too young for the game, it's another story for another time. This shows the type of height levels.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Marshmallow apparently posted like a couple little kids.
Yeah.
It's two little girls jumping up and down.
And the little kid that's on the chair just like going, oh, that's awesome. I'm like, well, maybe
that's still pretty cool though.
It's cool, but how about you just go out and
the
see
world
a real
is changing.
concert?
This is what I've been saying. Esports, things like this, the world is changing into a different age. Rather a part of it, or you're just left in the dust. All right, the last story, the one you wanted to hear about.
Dust.
Left in the dust. That's how I look at it. From GameRant.com, man leaves pregnant wife because of a PUBG addiction.
Addiction.
Video game addiction is especially a hot topic lately thanks to the rise of battle royale games like Fortnite and PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. There have been calls outright to ban games, with PUBG mobile addiction being a particular concern in countries like India, where the game has been blamed for failing test scores for the students. Now, according to a viral Facebook post, so this is all from a viral Facebook post, PUBG addiction has played the role in a man leaving his pregnant wife and their child for the game. According to the post, the man was introduced to PUBG by his siblings and then started to play it excessively. This led to arguments as the man was staying up all night to play PUBG, neglecting his responsibilities like work. Eventually, he decided to leave his family, which apparently occurred about a month ago at the time of writing this. The post doesn't seem to have any identification of the woman or her husband, so it's possible that the whole thing is fabricated. I give Game Rant credit for at least stating that could be all fake.
I hope it's fabricated, because why the hell would you go and get addicted to Fortnite? Fortnite, out of all games, right?
Yeah, and then it just goes into the because there are supposedly 200 cases of divorce over Fortnite in the UK. And how the government's going to ban, in India, they're looking to ban PUBG specifically because of things like this.
Yeah, I mean...
I get what they're stating, and I get that, and I agree with video game addiction. We've had a whole video about that, how it can become a problem and stuff like that. But I think that the traditional media is just taking it to a totally different level. There's different things you can do to fix this kind of a problem. If I'm leaving you for PUBG Mobile, even if I'm addicted, I'm pretty sure there's more to it than just really addicted to PUBG Mobile.
There's probably like an argument, if that is the truth, right? There was probably an argument like, well, I'm doing this because it's better than you, or like for something. Like,
you're already fighting about something. You're already stressing about something. This is how I'm escaping it. You're fed up with me because I'm doing this. Like, I feel like there's a lot more to this story than just that.
Absolutely. But at the end of the day, the girl is going to be like, well, he left me because she's never going to discuss it. Like, it's just like, hey, he had a problem with video games, and that's it. We're just going to blame it on that and just pass it on.
And I feel like it's becoming a scapegoat for a lot of people.
It really
I don't think there's that many problems with it to the point of divorce and things like that, but it is becoming a problem because, if you and I are arguing every single night, and you and I have had arguments, we've had
especially if he was ditching his work, right? So maybe she was like, well, I'm pregnant, and we need this money, and he's like, well, it's just like there's so much more.
Well, what I'm saying is, like, you and I have argued, and I've gone downstairs and played like Call of Duty for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
And like we haven't talked
the rest
of the night.
Fine, I'm playing Kingdom Hearts anyway.
Right, but you're not going to be like, I said I'm divorcing you because you play Call of Duty so much. It's because we fought about something else. I don't know.
Or at least like have an adult argument about this. Like, hey, we have a kid on the way. Maybe you should just drop Fortnite a little bit,
See, Dark Shoe says that part of the reason his wife's first marriage failed is because she was addicted to WoW, like missing work and everything else.
But that was WoW, though.
No, but that exists. Like, a true addiction does exist. But I feel like there's things that need to be... It's just like if you get into a cocaine habit, you're going to try to fix the problem before just leaving the person, I would hope.
You would hope?
And I feel like, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot more going on with a lot of these relationships. I'm not saying that there isn't people that are like, screw you, I'm playing Final Fantasy 14 all day, so you're going to deal with it.
I would just look at you and be like, wow, you're a casual. If you're going to leave me for something, at least be like a hardcore gamer or something. God damn it. Like...
I mean, maybe we're the worst people to have opinions on this.
Probably. I mean, we embed on a freaking MMO, so it's different.
No, that's like half of our relationship.
If you marry someone that's never touched a game in their lives, then, well, I'm sorry. I mean, I
know people that are like, I don't want you to play WoW because my previous relationship, he was addicted to WoW.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I hate to say it, but if you're addicted to something like WoW, they're getting something socially out of WoW or something that they're not getting out of the relationship.
Yeah.
And that's not true for everyone, but that is true for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like, there are some people that have a legit addiction problem. I'm not denying that. But there's got to be, I mean, there's been times where, like, I've been talking, like, I don't know. It's a whole thing.
I mean, we had a whole video about my addiction.
That's what I mean. Like, I'm trying not to go back into our whole video addiction
Yeah,
thing,
yeah. I mean, yes, if you just want to know more about what we've been through personally, there's that video. But it's just, if you really care about that person, you will find a way to just...
Yeah.
Sorry. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, there was probably more behind the scenes, but if you truly do care about that person, you would find a way to fix it.
You will at least try.
In my opinion, yeah.
Because all we get is the topic of, he played PUBG Mobile, so I left him. Apparently she's Southern now.
Or maybe the kid is what did it. I mean, there's so many possibilities. Like, you know, I don't want to be a part of this. There's a freaking kid on the way. I don't want to have responsibilities.
That's what I mean. And maybe that was it. Maybe you're scared of the whole...
Absolutely, yeah. I don't think it's just... You can't blame the game for this, you know? Like, there's just... I don't know.
All right, well, that wraps up today's episode.
Yeah.
Kind of went downer at the end there.
I'm sorry.
If you want more Natalie, find her at her Twitch channel, twitch.tv/ZodogleCandy. Or you can find her right here on Eligible Monster, so subscribe to this channel, hang out. Every Friday, we're trying to bring you this news show, and every Monday, we're trying to bring you discussion, and we're going to start easing into bringing you more gameplay stuff that should start filming next week whenever I get over this goddamn cold. This stuff's amazing, by the way. I'm not addicted, but I'm going to spray like 9 of these into my nose before we go play video games. Anyway.
It's been going for like 2 days. Huh? You're such a baby, guys. Oh, my God.
I've got a man cold.
I was like,
it's a very mild cold, but I'm in bed like, oh, my God.
You want to know what it feels like to be dying? God damn, Ben. You're such a baby.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Go find her over there. You can find both of us here at Eligible Monster or on the twitch.tv/Eligible Monster channel. Or you can find me over at Comic Storian. I'll see you around.